Let's discuss what's called apologetics. Apologetics is not what it sounds like. You'll hear that word if you're around the religious world for a while, and it might at first sound like making an apology, but it is not that. Here's a verse, Acts 22 verse 1, brothers and fathers, hear the defense that I now make before you. It's making a defense or an argument. And here's the word it comes from, apologia, a plea, an answer for yourself, a clearing of yourself, a defense. That is what apologetics is. The word is used 8 times in the Bible, and we've looked at one already, so we'll peek at all these verses quickly. Acts 25:16, I answered them that it was not the custom of the Romans to give up anyone before the accused met the accusers face to face and had opportunity to make a defense concerning the charges laid against them. 1 Corinthians 9:3, this is my defense to those who would examine me. This was Paul talking about being an apostle and things going on in his life. He's going to make a defense. Here are 4 more verses with the word apologetics in them. 2 Corinthians 7:11, for see what earnestness this godly grief has produced in you, but also what eagerness to clear yourselves. This was where the Corinthians had some sin in the congregation, and they corrected that. They were clearing themselves. Philippians 1:7, it is right for me to feel this way about you all, because I hold you in my heart, for you are all partakers with me of grace, both in my imprisonment and in the defense and confirmation of the gospel. He's defending the gospel. Later in that same chapter, verses 16 and 17, the latter do it out of love, knowing that I am put here for the defense of the gospel. Paul again mentioning defending the gospel. And 2 Timothy 4:16, at my first defense, no one came to stand by me. So Paul here in another situation where he was having to defend himself. And this is the last verse in the Bible, and probably the most familiar of all those. 1 Peter 3:15 says, but in your hearts honor Christ the Lord as holy. Or King James Version says, but sanctify the Lord God in your heart, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that's in you, yet do it with gentleness and respect. People are going to question your faith. This is our application of this whole lesson. Some are going to sincerely question. They're searching for the truth, and you need to be ready to help them. And some are going to be trying to destroy your faith with the question, trying to tear you down. You got to be ready to defend or be the category of apologetics. You owe it to yourself to keep the faith. As they're poking or tearing, you will let them if you're not ready to defend, and you owe it to others, whether it's that person poking and prodding or whether it's an audience and you're trying to bolster their faith or give them faith. You owe it to them. Things such as knowledge is what you need for this. Knowledge about the Bible. If you're not studying, how are you going to be able to defend or be prepared to make a presentation? You maybe need to be aware of false doctrines. If you were going to go have a discussion, plan ahead almost like a sports team, looking at the other team and what do they teach, what do they do, so that I'm prepared for what I'm about to enter into the discussion. Logic is something that needs to be involved in making a defense. There are errors in science. It's very likely some of these might come up as someone's trying to present and convince you to follow what man is now teaching in his ways. There is common sense. It does play a part. When things do not add up, when they do not make sense, there's probably error somewhere. There's Christian evidences you need to be aware of and can use on your side to present and support your case. There's also resources to help you with this. Have books, even online with the internet, resources to do research. Always got to make sure they're right, that they are teaching the truth. There's ministers. Have people you talk to discuss that when you need help. It's almost like a professor in a school that you go to sometimes as a mentor. Say, hey, I'm having trouble here, and they can help you out. Final thought, put on your armor and be ready. We know it's a spiritual warfare, the sword of the Spirit, having your helmet, and so on and so on. Be ready to defend.